Good afternoon and welcome back to the livestream series for Dark Souls 2. Actually, come to think of it, I really should have held off on going live because there's a very noisy part here. Actually, do you know what I can do? I can just mute the stream audio and then do it. So that sound there, I've been over this before and I don't particularly want to have the discussion again, but one of the annoying things about the Souls games on PC is that they don't actually save your audio options until you press start. So if your audio options make it so that pressing start without them saved would blow your eardrums out, that's exactly what will happen. And I decided to spare you all that experience by muting the stream, at least for that moment. I do apologize to anyone who was waiting for me to go live. It did take me a little bit longer than I expected. Pretty much as soon as I had made the announcement to go live, there was something that distracted me, so I do apologize for my tardiness. Okay. The punctuality is not one of my strong points when it comes to live streaming. I tend to put out a general announcement of when I'm going to go live. Well, no, I actually give a time, but that tends to still be inaccurate, so there you go. Hello P-Berry, hello A-Gaming, welcome. Now, I'm pleased to announce that if you enjoyed the previous livestream where I was going through that frosty location, at this stage I don't remember what it's called. It's the Shrine of Winter, there you go. I don't know if the entire location is called Shrine of Winter, but that's what we're going to, or rather how we're going to refer to it at this point. But if you enjoyed that, guess what? We're going back. Because one of the great things about the Shrine of Winter, which I actually wasn't aware of when I was recording the previous video, is that you can go through it a second time. Now that of course explains why I was encountering these enemies that weren't reacting to me. They only react to you when you have fulfilled a certain step in the location, in the area, which is, I think it's when you take that item just before you fight the main boss, and it causes the frost to dissipate, or disappear, perhaps would be a better word. And so therefore some directions that you couldn't go in before can now be visited, some chests that were previously frozen are unfrozen, and indeed those enemies that were not reacting to me the first time will actually start becoming aggressive. Now, unsurprisingly, they are designed to not immediately attack you. What they will do is give you the opportunity to walk past them, obviously the player assuming that they are still not going to react to you, but this time they will actually chase you down. So yes, unsurprisingly, there is an element of ambush built into their AI as well, which is really helpful. Anyway, what are we going to do to make this fun? Because obviously this is going to be the same location twice, effectively. What did I use to actually go through it before? I think I may have used the Black Knight Great Axe because it has fire damage. So maybe I could actually use this going forward. Now, I did do a little bit of stuff off camera. I have upgraded some of these weapons beyond what they were upgraded to in the previous video. I think I've managed to fully upgrade this, which it wasn't before, and I took this from +2 to +4, and that might be all that I did. It doesn't sound like much. I think these... So this was at +3, this was at +2. So those upgrades that I made, I think took either 2 or 3 sessions of using a bonfire ascetic on the dragon area. Or is it... maybe it's the one before the dragon area. I just need to get my names correct so that you all don't become confused. It is, yes, the dragon area. So this location you can see is now at bonfire intensity 5. I have to tell you, getting petrified dragon bones in this game is no easy task. If you'll remember what it was like getting, say, Titanite slabs in Dark Souls 1, this isn't as difficult as that, but interestingly they've made slabs so easy to get in this game, but something like petrified dragon bones does actually require you to repeatedly use bonfire ascetics on this area. I have reached a point now where I don't think I have any left, so I need to find... oh no, I've got just one left. So I need to actually locate some, in other words. I'm not looking forward to that, but for the moment I'm going to put a hold on my farming of petrified dragon bones because that was a miserable experience. You can imagine just essentially killing the same lizards over and over again. But killing crystal lizards in this game is truly miserable. Because depending on the weapon that you have, you could be standing right in front of it, and your weapon swings just almost perfectly avoid the enemy you're trying to hit. I can't even blame the crystalids. I have to blame the game itself for having such a terrible system for weapon swings. I guess hitbox would be the word. Terrible hitboxes on some of the weapon swings. But yeah, you really feel it quite strongly when you're trying to kill crystal lizards. Just gonna get my beverage. I suppose I can check how many hours I've got on this character. I think I'd have to go to the login screen. Keep in mind I do stuff off camera as well. So if you were to see game time in this character, it's not necessarily going to reflect how much I've gone live with it. I've done a little bit of soul farming off camera. I've obviously, you know, grinded out those petrified dragon bones that I needed to upgrade my weapons up to this point. So I'd say there's probably between 3 and 5 hours that's been spent on this character off camera. As for how much time, I guess I can have a quick look. Just out of interest. I've only got 2 characters here on the original PC version. I'll try to do as many characters in the livestream series in the original version that I can, like as many as I can, because I don't really want to do Scholar of the First Sin. Okay, so I've got 49 hours in this save, so there you go. It is soul level 210. In terms of the game versions that I'll be playing, as I say, for Dark Souls 2 I'll try to, as much as possible, keep it strictly to the original version. As for Dark Souls 1, unfortunately because of the characters that I've been making in my own time, before starting that recording series, I don't have enough slots to facilitate several characters being played in a livestream series on the original version of Dark Souls. So I will actually be playing the remastered version for much of my future recording of that first game. So do expect that. What else have we done? I don't know if we've actually done anything else. Probably not. No. Obviously I've topped up my life gems. Oh yes, there's actually a boss that immediately can be accessed from this area. Now, I had completely forgotten about that in the previous video, if you were wondering why I made absolutely no mention of it. That was the reason why. I attempted that boss with the other character that I have in the original version, the one that you would have seen in the character list there. I didn't have much success. I could get about halfway through the boss, but yeah, it's not easy. Unfortunately, it's one of those boss fights where you have to deal with multiple opponents at the same time. I'm really not a fan of those. So you can see that there are still 2 bonfires that we haven't discovered here. That's because we haven't done the second trip through the Shrine of Winter. So I think we'll start from the outer wall. Yeah, there's a lot of replayability in a Souls game. And it's so easy to just pour a lot of time into one character. I hate that flickering. Look at that fucking flickering over there. See that? That's awful. I don't know if I should be blaming the game or blaming the port or what. It's probably just the port, isn't it? Oh, that's actually fatiguing. Oh, stop it. Hopefully we don't get any more of that shit. To be honest, it looks like whatever I was supposed to have done to go through the second half, or rather take the second trip through the Shrine of Winter, hasn't actually been done on this profile. So I did it with my other character, but not obviously in my own time. But strangely, it looks like that hasn't been done, because the blizzard's still blowing through. Maybe it's not picking up that item that I was talking about. As for the item that I was referring to, I think it's this one, no? Probably not. Where is it? Eye of the Priestess. Allows one to see the unseen. So I thought that when I picked that up, that caused the blizzard to stop. But that's not true, so perhaps I need to go and attempt that boss that I was talking about. Oh, my green screen is fuzzy. What? Oh yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's not just the green screen, it's, I wonder why that... How has that happened? It's alright. I mean, there is a quick fix for that, but I actually don't know how that's happened, because I haven't touched my settings, you see. If I had touched my settings at some point, it would make more sense, but no. Alright, let me fix that. Thanks for drawing my attention to it. Alright, that should be fine now. Again, it's a small adjustment, and one that I can easily make, but I've got no idea why it was necessary. But yeah. Essentially what that is the setting to make the green disappear was too high, and so it was starting to take away my body as well. But that would indicate that there's more light in this room than usual, which is not true. So I don't fucking get it. Maybe it's my webcam doing something strange. So as you can see, there is another bonfire here. Well, actually, we've been to this one now that I think about it. We didn't progress further beyond this bonfire in the previous video, but we will do that now. Yes, it looks like however we melt these chests, get rid of this ice, it needs to be done over here. So we speak to this person. I think we're given an option to talk. There you go. So yeah, I didn't do this at all in the previous video because I had forgotten to do it. Oh, fuck. Do you know one thing that I really, really hate about dialogue in this game? It's the fact that you have to... It has to be split up into several sections where you have to keep pressing A to progress the conversation. I really don't like that. It feels like an unnecessary step. I'm sure the game designers did it for one reason or another. It's just I've given it some thought and I can't fucking figure out why they bothered to do it. Makes life harder for me. Do you see why? Like, if I'm in the habit of just pressing A, maybe that's why. Maybe they feel that if they split it up, you're less likely to accidentally press A on a choice. I don't know. What is my choice? I'm going to say yes. Alright, once that's been done, the blizzard's going to disappear. This gives us the... Okay, Alsana's seal is undone, and the winds of Ilium? I don't know. But anyway, Ilium, maybe it's... I mean, I can keep saying it, but I don't think it's ever going to sound correct. It's just not a name that I'm familiar with. But anyway, the winds are gone, or whatever was being said. So obviously the blizzard has disappeared, and we can now actually access that boss, but I don't think I want to take him on yet. Yeah, so you can see that if we pass through that fog gate, that will take us to the boss. But I'm not interested at this stage. For the moment, we are going to do the fun stuff, which is, you know, essentially repeating what we did in the last video. But we've got some treasure to acquire. And some additional things to discover in this location. So we'll see how we go. Hopefully it's at least halfway interesting to watch. I will use the smelter sword, keeping in mind that this is considerably stronger than when I was last using it. I think I was using this sword in a location where enemies were a bit weaker, because my weapon was weak. No longer. It's almost fully upgraded. It's sitting at 607 damage, which is more or less endgame level. As we've established, this location is probably not somewhere you want to be going to, unless you're a fairly high soul level. You don't have to be in the 200s, but I wouldn't really consider this place to be mid-game or anything like that. It's definitely late game. Based on the fact that I can take quite a lot of damage from these enemies with fully upgraded armor, and be at soul level 200 and something. Just going to make sure that I'm happy with the audio. It's a little bit loud, but I think it's acceptable. Oh, for those of you wondering why the VOD for my last livestream hasn't gone up yet, I just haven't had time at all to edit it. It's one of those live streams where I'll need to make a few cuts through it, and I literally haven't had the time to do it. So, you know, every time I want to take the time to do it, something else comes up. So, yeah. I'm still getting it edited, even though it was recorded on, like, what, Monday or Tuesday. And it is now Sunday, so there you have it. It's going to be a bit of an outdated VOD once it goes up. It's probably the first one that I've allowed to take this long to reach YouTube, but it is what it is. So we're about to encounter the first of those enemies that previously wasn't... Jesus. Yeah, one of those enemies that previously was not being aggroed at all. And we were killing them anyway, of course, because I didn't trust them. I thought that perhaps they would all wake up at the same time and then I would get absolutely inundated by a large number of them. But it hasn't happened. It's still better to take the initiative, though, and just start attacking them before they attack you, because otherwise, you know... I'll be dealing with this guy, for example. Oh my god, this always happens. You can see why, though. My instincts are to evade, but this is not an evasion build. I feel like this inevitably happens. Like, this is invariably the result of me, who is more comfortable evading, using a build which is shield reliant. This always happens. So... there you go. Let's just try to be a little more careful with how we're playing. Because you can see, if I had instead brought my shield out and used it, I wouldn't have died there. But instead I chose to roll, and then that gave him the opportunity to deal the killing blow. I should have learnt not to do this. To be fair though, the last time, technically, that I did this area was with my... I don't even know how to describe the build. I guess it was a dexterity build. It was the first one in that list of characters that you saw before. That one almost doesn't use a shield at all. So, I can at least somewhat be forgiven. There you go. That looks quite damaging. You would hope so. Hello. Yeah, can do a bit of a backstab there, or a backslash. I think the only weapons that actually backstab in this game are thrusting weapons. I believe they still retain their backstab. Although, come to think of it, I think that's how it always was in Dark Souls, now that I have given it further consideration. Like, you used to do a back chop, like you'd get a chop in the back and then like a little twirl with the second back chop. Back chop. Didn't quite pronounce that correctly. There we go. I don't know if you can notice it, but we are generally dealing more damage with this weapon now. As you can see, we actually have to pass that enemy in order for him to wake up. That's how desperate they are for us to be ambushed, to be taken by surprise by these enemies. I'll demonstrate it. Slowly stands up. Can I just tell you that that had absolutely nothing to do with me. You will have seen that I went two-handed and did a strong attack in a completely different direction to where the enemy was, despite the fact that I was targeting it. I did not even have my thumb touching the left analog stick. So, you know, someone's going to assume that I still haven't worked out how to position myself correctly. That's not it. I've now taught myself that when I'm using a heavy weapon, to keep the hell away from the left analog stick, otherwise I might accidentally move my character off target. I'm just letting the game do it itself. Even when I have an enemy targeted, the character, or perhaps the game itself, just can't handle the positioning itself. It's just... it's absurd. I mean, I can laugh at it now. I'm sure later on in this recording I'm going to become increasingly incensed by the fact that this game is so poorly designed when it comes to the targeting system. But, yeah, for the moment it's just funny and sad that it can be so bad. Oh my god. Being sort of drawn into their chaotic movements. Use a life gem. Or perhaps it would have been better to use an Estus flask. I do note the fact that my max health is a bit lacking, but I'm managing so far. I like how I'm going through this as if it's my first time. No, these items are not there anymore, Doomlink. You've already picked them up. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just pull these 2 non-ranged enemies. Oh, fucking hell, look at this. I had actually forgotten about those 2 enemies, so I was successfully ambushed there. That's an item that I can now access that I couldn't access before. It looks like several drops, in fact. But, I do need to deal with these enemies first. Yes, get over here, please. Don't they move so ridiculously? They don't move in a consistent sort of way. They look like they're just sliding around and going back and forth. This is all intentional. This is all by design. The more predictable the movements are, the easier the game is, so they've made the enemies move very strangely and unnaturally. Just to put you off, I suppose. I was about to say to put you at disease, and then I realised that that word is now used rather differently these days. Come here. Or come hither. That's also a phrase that's been used differently these days. Normally it has a sexual connotation. Come hither. You know. Get over here. Or are you going to stay where you are? The reason why I don't want to engage him there is look, it's just becoming tiring now. It's just tiring. As for where that one was hiding, I've got no idea. I couldn't possibly know. He was obviously designed to be hiding in the snow somewhere. Or it was intended for him to be hidden. I will go back for those items. Also, the reason why I want him to come this way is so that I don't engage the other one as well. Well, I do have ranged combat options. Not much damage, though. I was kind of hoping for a bit more damage from Great Lightning Spear with a fully upgraded... what do you even call this thing? Talisman? Let's just say Talisman. And also, I believe 50 Faith. You'd think I'd be doing more damage, but I'm going to assume that they're just resistant to lightning. That's probably the most likely scenario. Good day. See, even at this stage I have to engage 2 of them simultaneously. Imagine if I had to deal with 3. Oh, shit. Fortunately, I was able to kill the other one as well there. Alright, let's go back for those items. You can see that previously there would have been blocks of ice covering this body. That's 3 repair powder, not too bad. Very difficult to get repair powder in this game. Because obviously they've made it so that weapon durability is very low to compensate for the fact that you will always have your weapon repaired when you rest at the bonfire. There's a few things there. Nothing really jumped out at me, so I'm going to assume it was all crap. Well, durability is still relevant in the first Dark Souls and in Demon Souls. There are moments in time where you do have to repair the weapons or be careful about their durability, but I see what your point is. For someone going through the game, they're less likely to experience a lack of durability because they're actually upgrading their weapons faster than they can degrade. But once you get into the end game, or once you're doing New Game Plus, Plus 2, etc. runs, you're using fully upgraded weaponry, and that's where you're going to experience the degradation. So yeah, less likely to experience it when you're just coming through the game for the first time and upgrading your weapons. I'd better deal with you first, hey? Don't stop it. Look, your character just feels so pathetic in this game. Feels like it can't do anything. Alright, let's be really aggressive against this guy. There you go. Are you going to be on target this time? Yes, thank God for that. Now obviously those flame attacks are going to be damaging my weapon faster. So maybe I should consider whether or not I want to actually use those attacks. We're moving on to this weapon because I did notice that that's... what the hell are you doing? I did notice that that weapon was almost broken, or at least very low in durability. Now, here is another direction that we can go in that we couldn't go in before. Well, I shouldn't say another, this is really the first major direction. So previously, this lift was not accessible. This entranceway was covered with some sort of frozen blocks of ice. It's a bit unnecessary and tautological to say blocks of ice that are frozen, just to let you know. Not an advisable way of using English. Now, these enemies are basically your bone wheel skeletons that just look totally different to bone wheel skeletons. They will deal a lot of damage very quickly. You can see even standing near them. I have nothing that I can say in response to that. The reason why I died was because just standing near them will cause you to take damage. And we are literally cheek by jowl. I'm swinging my weapon at point blank range. And this fucking enemy ducks underneath the swing. Well, I shouldn't even say ducks underneath the swing. My character was just incapable of hitting the fucking enemy despite the fact that it was right in front of him. This game. I mean, that's an excellent example of why crystal lizards are such a nightmare to kill. It's because if you can actually be too close to them. It's absurd. I don't have time for that shit. I now have to go through here again and kill the same enemies again because of that. It's probably worth running through at this point, wouldn't you say? Almost out of human effigies, shockingly. I mean, how am I supposed to have patience when I'm dealing with game mechanics like those? Game mechanics where it makes the character feel useless. It's stupid. I don't think I can run through. You can see that I'm going to be put in a situation where, I mean, unless... Is he going to move forward? Yeah, he is. Well, how many souls have I lost then? I think that's, it was like 50,000 that I lost. I can get them back quickly, but you can now see that I don't even have the option to run through the area because it's specifically designed to prevent that. So I do actually have to take my time to kill each enemy again, which is great. This is a terrible location. They make you well, they don't make you. It is technically a choice as to whether or not you do it. But you are encouraged, clearly, if you want to be completionist, to go through the same area a second time. Why? Stop it. It reminds me of Harmony of Dissonance, the Castlevania game, where Dracula's castle there is not even inverted, I don't think. You just literally go through it again with a different map. I could be remembering that wrong, but I think that's how that game worked. Oh, yeah. I've been losing a lot of souls. It's not the end of the world, as I say, but... I think I explained it in one of the previous recordings, if not the previous one, that I do want to be in a position where I can take the souls that I've acquired from killing these enemies and actually do something with them, rather than just lose them needlessly. It is part of the, I suppose, the satisfaction that you get out of a Souls game. It's making use of those souls. If you keep losing them, even if you're not desperately in need of them, or have a way to get a lot of them quickly, it does feel like a waste. Oh, how the fuck did that not kill you? Honestly. I've just had enough. I also need to try and get some better hexes and better miracles. Because these are not very impressive. I hate that thrust. That thrust has remarkable range. Just absolutely incredible. All the better to fuck you over with, of course. Alright. Yay, I got 440 souls back. We're all under control now. Oh, for goodness sake. Weapons bouncing off walls can be very annoying in the Souls series, but that is not unique to this game, to be fair. I feel like my casting speed's a little bit slow. Did I have something that affected my casting speed before that I no longer have? So that increases the damage. Is there anything that I had for casting speed in terms of rings? I don't think so. But it just felt in that moment that my casting speed was very slow. Well, that's alright. Yeah, while the Sun Ring is a Covenant ring, it does serve a purpose beyond just doing things with the Covenant. I don't think you get summoned with the ring. That is literally what it's for. It's to serve as a miracle boosting ring to equip. The summoning is done manually by the player using the White Sign Soapstone. So yeah, it's not like an invasion ring. Where is that fucking enemy? There he is. Asshole. Not gonna forget about you again. Why you have so much defense, I've got no idea. And here's the other little prick. Yeah, I'll just miss my attacks at point blank range, that's fine. Yeah, I think it is dexterity that increases your casting speed. I would have to go through the level ups to see what affects that stat though. But I think you're correct, yeah. I did something to increase it. Maybe it was... I distinctly remember doing something to increase it. I don't know what it was though. Whether it was an item or one of the strategies I'd taken for upgrading my character, I just don't remember. This is so annoying. Come on, just get over here. Yeah, he's pursuing me very effectively. Good day. Oh, dealing with far too many of you at one time. Far too many of you. Just have to be very careful about my timing, because obviously if I turn around at the wrong time, one of them's gonna fucking stab me and kill me. They've leashed. Motherfucker. He didn't even have to try, did he? Didn't even have to try. Well, he's definitely outranged me. Yeah, little prick. I'm glad he wasn't able to hop through my attack, but you can see the durability of my axe now is pitiful. Have to change weapons. I'm very much in two minds about the horrendous durability of the weapons in this game. I do think it's nice to be put in a position where you have to change weapons more often. But it's also slightly annoying, so I'm not sure how I feel about it, really. Depends on the situation, depends on my mood. Depends on the phase of the moon and many other things. Even though I've got this prick to deal with, who is some distance away from me, I'm not going to allow myself to be backstabbed again. That's the problem. If I don't address the fact that that enemy is there and behind me, and my back is turned, I will be hit with with a critical attack. So you are very much obliged to deal with those enemies head on. Well, P-Berry, I would encourage playing all of the Soul games if you can. But it's good that Dark Souls 1 is one that you've played and completed. That's definitely a worthwhile game to play, and arguably the best choice to make, because it's harder to play Demon Souls, because it's a Sony exclusive. You're either playing on PlayStation 3 or playing on PlayStation 5, which I hate. That's the way it has to be. But yeah, that was why Demon Souls was much less experienced, or people had less experience of Demon Souls back when Dark Souls was new. It was not just because it was a lesser known game. was because it was harder for people to play it. Like if you were an Xbox owner rather than a PlayStation owner. It's just what it was. So, you know, when I speak in a contemptuous way about the people who were playing Dark Souls 2 when it came out, insofar as they refused to play Dark Souls, that was very different to how I treated people who were playing Dark Souls who couldn't play Demon Souls, because there was a reason for it. Whereas the first Dark Souls game, when Dark Souls 2 came out, was on every platform. So there was no fucking reason for those people to not give the first Dark Souls game a try. They refused to. The vast majority of them. So yeah, just in case someone wanted to draw parallels there are none. Oh, God. As you can see, still taking a lot of damage from these enemies. Yes, I will chase you down. Alright. It's a long way to go, just to fucking possibly die again, isn't it? I don't remember precisely where the next bonfire is going to be, but I'm just gonna cross my fingers that I can handle these stupid enemies again. Well, if you have a PlayStation 3 and you have Demon Souls and you haven't properly played it, give it another try. If you've never played a Souls game before, Demon Souls is the hardest one to come into for the first time. It's really quite unforgiving. Oh my god, I'm gonna die again! No! Move, fucker. I don't know if you saw that, but when I was attempting to run but couldn't, my stamina was still being depleted as if I were running, which is insane. Absolutely insane that they allow that to happen. I did not mean to drink 3. I'll fuck right off. I have to deal with an NPC invader and these enemies all at the same time, and they deal incredible damage to me. I'm worried that by the time I'm in range of them, I just feel like I need to regroup. I don't know what I'm going to achieve by doing this, but... Alright, at least that fucker has returned to his world. Okay, what can I do? Equip better life gems, because I'm out of Esters. So annoying. But yeah, those bone wheel type enemies, and I call them bone wheels because they operate in the same way. They roll into you, and they deal a shitload of damage while they do it. See this crap? No! This is a terrible, terrible situation. I've no other way to contend with them, except to literally run away. Because I'm not gonna get this far, only to die again to these enemies, and I can't really run through, because we've got that invader to deal with as well. This is terrible. This is a fucking stupid location. I hate it. This is probably one of my least favourite areas to go through in a Souls game. It's just complete shit. Thank you. Alright. Now how about you? Still 2 of you. I don't even want to deal with 2 of them, to be honest. There are more of them to contend with, of course. But can't do any more of it ranged. Or can't have any more ranged confrontations with them. Because I've used all of my sunlight spears. So keeping in mind, we haven't been here before, so any items that are available on the ground to pick up, we do want to pick them up. Again, you just need to stand near them and you're being hit, regardless. So they're actually worse than bone wheel skeletons in that way. Fucking nightmare. There is a bonfire quite close by, Peaberry. I don't remember exactly where it is. Fuck off. Get out of here. I also need to watch for the durability of my smelter sword. Hi. Just need to make sure that you're the only one here. I don't think you are. Is there something behind me? Yes, there's another one. Oh my god. Look how he just stands where he is. Alright, let's just make sure that we're evading this enemy as well. Okay. We need this ladder here. Get up it. Get up it now. Go, 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 go. Fuck. Okay, we're very close to the bonfire. I think. Or are we not? No, we are. We are. I know where it is. It's over this way. It's a good thing I've technically been here before, and somewhat recently, otherwise I wouldn't be able to remember this shit. It's in here. Thank God for that. It really pays to have done this before. That's the same armor set that I use for my dexterity build. It's the Bone Lord set, I think it's called. Good for female characters. One would assume that my fire weapon is effective against these enemies. Yeah, I have reason to suspect that it's just a good choice in general. For this entire location. Which tree branch? We will open this now because it's safe to do so. He says before narrowly evading. Jesus! They just can't help themselves, can they? There has to be an ambush for precisely every fucking moment that you draw breath in this game. It's actually tiresome. I've unequipped my Estus flasks. Let's rectify that. Now, this guy here, kill him as quickly as possible. Or with an immediacy. Because you can see, he's fucking running away from me. I was able to deal with him much better in my dexterity build, and the reason why was because I actually used poison weapons there. And I had already poisoned him by this point. He's a very annoying NPC. Obviously, he takes the appearance of a helper, and what he does is he does a gesture to you, and he'll actually leave you alone. And you can walk through here with him, but eventually he'll turn on you. I think it's when you open a chest up here. Of course, you know, it has to be a chest-related ambush. Or I think it's when you pull this. Yeah, when you pull this, he'll start attacking you, and he will try to backstab you after you've done it as well. He may actually become aggressive when you first approach it, with the intention of backstabbing you before you can pull the lever. But, yeah, now that I've reduced his health quite considerably, I think he is permanently retreated to a position. As for whether or not it's in the direction that I want to go, I'm not sure. He may have actually retreated to where the bonfire is, which doesn't affect me, because I've already been there. Yeah, Bone Lord. There is a vehicle outside doing weird shit. He's revving it very annoyingly. And has now finally driven off. When you're far away from these enemies, they move ridiculously. Look at that. Look how laggy the movement is. Hello. Like creepy rabbit things. Oh, hello. He's managed to heal himself, so he obviously has Healing wares. Notice how he just attacked completely off target as well. He is a victim of the game system as much as I am. Which is really funny. Hi. I just don't want to fight you and that rabbit thing at the same time. What? Are you telling me that while he was gearing up for an attack there, he was actually... Fuck off. Yeah, okay, congratulations. What an annoying NPC. What frustrated me there was that in that kind of confrontation, the person who wins is he who hits first. And so I saw that he was vulnerable because he was going two-handed, but it seems like when he gears up for an attack, he can actually shield in that moment, which means that even if I attack first, doesn't make any difference. He actually blocks the attack and then hits me. Because I obviously put myself in a vulnerable position in going ahead and attacking first, but then he can just evade it anyway, or block it in this case. To put it in simple terms, it's fucking annoying. So, maybe we can avoid dealing with him at all. I'll try to. We've already pulled that lever, so we don't need to go in that building, but I suspect that he might find a way to come after us anyway. Okay, my soul is over that way. Let me go and recover that. I think there's about 15,000 on it at the moment. 17,000. Now for a total of 20,000. Going to heal myself up here. I don't think I've continued that much further than this. Oh no, I have. No, I know where we're going. Yeah, I know where we're going. I have actually gone all the way through this direction before. So it should be familiar to me. Now, the covetous demon is here, as you can see. We're going to deal with him before we go picking these items up. What's the point of even raising my shield if you can just completely ignore it? That made no sense. At least I didn't get hit this time. Might actually change weapons just so that I'm not degrading the fire weapons that are useful for this area. Just don't want him to roll over while I'm attacking. Because it's an enemy we've fought before, we should know how to deal with him. Just recovering my stamina. Oh. Okay, he's doing a big flopping maneuver that I wasn't familiar with. Oh, Jesus, that just annihilates my stamina. That's actually horrific. The way he bounces around like that. Yeah, not the most pleasant creature to fight. Seems like Jabba the Hutt's final form. See, look at me doing it again. Trying to evade with this set. Alright, I'm gonna kill you. Goodbye. I don't know if he gives you anything. Doesn't look like it. He gave me fuck all. Oh, it's the Ivory Warrior Ring. That's what he gives you. He did give me fuck all in terms of souls. That was 4,000. That was, not in any way proportional to the, or proportionate, rather. What is that ring? I think it's, well, I've forgotten what it does now. I think it makes it so that you appear as a human when summoned. Or rather, like, not as a white phantom. Let's see where it is. Is it this one? No, that is not the ring. That's further on, the one that I just mentioned. This one attacks greatly reduce Let me rephrase that. Attacks greatly reduce enemy stamina. Now, how that's actually going to affect PvE confrontations, I don't know. But I would assume that's probably better for PvP. Because I feel like the stone ring would be more effective than that in PvE. Got some Twinkling Titanite, which is helpful. Can't remember what we're leveling up with Twinkling Titanite, though. As I recall, the only thing that we did need Twinkling Titanite to upgrade out of the weapons that we do own was the Black Knight Great Axe. Can we continue on, or what? Looks like this is the way to go. I don't know if this was blocked off when we... What? Fucking hell, I can't even take a moment to enjoy the scenery. Almost got fucking killed. Go away, just get out of my face. I don't want to deal with you right now. I'm becoming fatigued by you. I've had to kill too many of you. And it's generally unpleasant to fight you as well. Alright, so I think this leads to... Yes, that leads to the bonfire that we just... Look. You need to get a life. That's what you need to do. And stop wasting my time. So at least we've got a shortcut. If it is necessary for us to make use of it. It would have been just perfect for me to have died before reaching the shortcut, wouldn't you say? Yeah, I'd say the spiky rabbit is the most dangerous enemy. Especially in a game where it's so easy for your attacks to miss the enemy. I'm going to change... Well, actually, there's probably no point changing back to the Great Axe. I think the worst thing about these enemies is the fact that they appear in places where you're likely to be fighting something else already. I hate that. And look at how it's designed to actually approach you. Fucking... You're both awake? Jesus. I believe when I first came through here, the one immediately on my right never woke up. I think. Fucking hell. I'm happy to deal with this one on his own. I think this greatsword has probably the best durability out of all of my weapons. This environment is starting to become really drab to look at. I like how that thing just phased out of existence. And then he appears again. Look at that. Dark Souls 2, ladies and gentlemen. What the fuck is that? What is that? What am I even supposed to say in response to that shit? That's just awful. That can't be intended, right? That's not a feature, that's a fucking bug. It has to be. You deal a lot of damage, sir. And, to be honest, I've had enough of it. Fuck's sake. It takes so long to heal. I mean, it will heal a lot of your health, it just takes ages to do it. At least you can stack them to get more health recovered at the same time, but... were you moving or not? I think you are moving. Yes, you are. I don't think I want to go two-handed, though. He has a big hug that he wants to give you when he sees you. Which is just lovely, but... I might have to disappoint him. Jesus, that was close. I've just got a sense that if I don't iframe that, he's going to pull me into his big hug. I think that's his most damaging attack, the big stomp. That decimated about 70% of my health last time. Probably more. Excuse me. Ice rabbits. Come on. Creepy looking things, look at them. I think there's an item just here. Oh, you were coming for a hug. I'm glad you missed me. Oh! That's it. I'm definitely changing builds dramatically when I have completed this one, because I've just had enough of shield reliance. I never like it. It's always fun at... He fell down. It's always fun at first, but then eventually I just become really sick of it and want to be more mobile. I don't know how effective lightning spear is going to be. Yeah, not very effective at all. And I would just die if I got close enough to them to make use of Darkstorm, so we're not going to do it that way. I'd like to take advantage of your little falling animation again. Alright, get over here. I want you here before your friend. Come on, mate. Alright. That worked out very well. That ledge was very helpful for dealing with both of them. One thing that I am glad about in this game is that shields do retain reasonable durability. If they had made it so that the shields were as low durability as the weapons, that would have driven me insane. I think one thing that I don't like about that sort of game design is that it makes no logical sense, right? I mean, yes, it does make sense for a shield to be more durable than a sword, but for that amount of difference, like that kind of disparity, is beyond reason. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So it was a bit more realistic, or rather the original implementation was more realistic than the one that was intended to improve the system. But anyway, if you're wondering why my greaves are white, it is basically a reflection of the cold environment. Alright, so we've made it back to here. Don't attack those enemies because they're going to die automatically. If you take the time to kill them manually, it's really just a complete waste. That was close. As you can see, his range is quite impressive. I've got just enough stamina to hit him again. Although I did hesitate. It's because I didn't notice that I still had stamina. Alright. We've almost finished this part of the area. There's much more that needs to be done, but... well, again, it's not a matter of need. Really want to take care of you from a distance. Just had enough of that shit. No. Alright. Are you done now? Even when you are done... Even when you are done, doesn't mean I stop getting hit, because your mere existence hurts me, apparently. No, this is not the final DLC area. This is one of 3 DLC locations you can visit. I'm pretty sure. Might be one of 2, I think it's one of 3. Where the hell am I going? I do have a shortcut unlocked, but it's still a decent way away from where I want to be. I just can't get over how many human effigies I'm using in this. If you saw how many human effigies, I think I've got about 30 human effigies on my other character. So I have been playing considerably shit in this playthrough. Like, much worse than usual. I've been going through all of my human effigies. I can't even accumulate them, because they just get used immediately. These rabbits are from hell. I know they might be icy, but they're from some frozen hell, okay? God, I've gone in the wrong direction, of course. Well, apparently you also feel a similar distaste for these enemies. Aquamil. Alright, this is the way we want to go, and I'm not fighting those giants again, because I took the time to kill pretty much all of them. And now I'm back, so not fucking worth it. We'll see if I even have the option reasonably to get back. I fucking hope that I do. When I say that, I mean, you know, get back to where I was without killing those enemies. Looks like they struggled to get through the door. Or they leash at that point, which is, well, a positive thing. Again, ignore the enemies on the left side. And just deal with this fellow. Hi. Beautiful damage. He's also dealing quite good damage to me. Making sure that I shield everything that he does, and apparently he was still gearing up to do more, so great. Glad I'm still fucking alive. Now because of this steep incline, it's actually difficult to kill these guys from a distance with my ranged miracles. That one can stay down there for now. Oh, you can just roll off the edge and die, actually. You can definitely do that. My intention was to fight that one while the first one was down below, but he just committed suicide instead. I'm not going to complain about that. Well, look, I don't want to fight both of you, okay? Wonder how much Darkstorm actually does to them. Don't know how it fucking missed with those other attacks. You get out of here with your ranged shit. Look at you. So he's got different ice weapons that he can conjure, interestingly. He can conjure a club, or he can conjure almost like a lance that he thrusts at you. Why do you ignore my attacks, mate? It's because you're big, isn't it? That's the reason why. Alright, let's retreat, heal, and then pick off the weaker one with a ranged attack. If we can. We can. As for you. Couldn't quite... See, the problem with that follow-up is that it has pitiful fucking range. I don't know why they choose for that to even be an option in terms of attacks. Like this weird little backwards digging swing. I don't even know how to fucking describe it. It just looks stupid. It doesn't achieve anything. It doesn't look cool. It's not effective. It seems to be a way of nerfing your weapon. That's how shit the attack is. It's worse than your average attack. So, to be honest, it looks like a negative balance. A way of reducing the effectiveness of your weapon, to have that as an option. I hate it. I was able to make use of it the time before last, but that was only a fucking fluke, quite frankly. It's a shit attack. It's not the same two-handed. Two-handed, I think, is a big thrust. Although I don't know what the follow-up would be. Let's give it a try. So it starts with... God forbid I do anything. Seriously. Fuck you, I'm not doing it with this enemy. Hello. I've fought bosses that are easier than you, by the way. Fuck off. I suppose it would be better for our durability. Or no, I think because it's like a magical special attack, it will consume durability whether it makes contact with an enemy or not. So maybe I won't just do it for nothing. We'll do it against this guy, although I may be punished for it. What's the follow-up? Aha, it's a big swing. That's nice. I'm about to get fucking annihilated, though. Thank you. This is not the way I should be fighting this enemy. Alright, get up quick. I would love for you to jump off the edge and die. That would be really fortunate for me. Alright, life gem. And then get in there. He's got a lot of health. Which I can hopefully deplete faster with a backstab. Whee! That was good. So it doesn't seem that he has lots of health, he just has lots of defense, because we could see that 1300 damage there killed him quite quickly, so it was just a case of high defense on his part. Which is frustrating, because he should be susceptible to fire, and I have a fire weapon. Wasn't good enough for him, I suppose. Alright. Now this is a weird moment, where this fucking guy just stands up, and then disappears. I don't know what that's all about, but... oh, right, that's one of the knights that you have to... oh, yes. Now, do you suppose I've made things harder for myself? Because multiple knights like those actually go to the boss room. So what if I've made that boss harder by not taking that boss on then, and instead taking it on after going through this part of the Shrine of Winter? I don't know. But that's alright. Snowball time. We need to plug a hole in the bridge, and this is how we do it. Oh, we need to attack it. Alright. I don't think there's any special way of attacking it, but obviously it will get larger and larger as it rolls. It will kill those enemies for you, which is why I said not to bother attacking them before. And then the gigantic snowball will actually plug the hole. Pretty cool. Very Legend of Zelda-like. You didn't really get much of that stuff in the Dark Souls games, but that was a thing, very much so in Demon Souls. More of that is good. Less of that is tolerable, but not an improvement. I say tolerable because technically you didn't have much of that going on in the first Dark Souls game, but that game's a fucking masterpiece, so I'm not about to criticize it for not having interactive traps like that. You've still sort of got interactive traps. You can drop gates on people and stuff, but giant snowballs are more fun. And I guess you've got the big boulders. Well, we're not talking about that. Yeah, you've got the big boulders in Brightstone Cove as well. But that's this game. I'm saying that this game brought it back, whereas it's not in the first Dark Souls. I'm sure there are options. Really? I've fucking broken that weapon? It's just stupid. Fuck this durability system, honestly. This is what I mean. That's just annoying to me. It's not adding anything to my experience. No matter what From Software intended for it to do. I don't accept it. Amber Herb. Alright, off we go. Back in this direction. Fucking hell. Why are you so resistant? No, don't stop it, it's gonna kill me. Oh, it's empty. You're in combat, dickhead. Stop doing that shit. It just shouldn't let you do anything, right? But no, they actually give you the chance to sit through like a fucking 5-second animation when you accidentally try to use an empty Estus flask. What a miserable load of shit. I don't even know where to go now. I think we have satisfied all of the tasks, or rather we've completed all the tasks in that direction, but now what the fuck do we do? Do we go back? Do you know what I mean? Because we did go all the way back through. Is it just faster to... I'm trying to remember where we've been. Fuck. No, I have so many snow rabbits to get through if I go that way. Do I just give it a try anyway? See if we can survive. Yep, stop it. I think it's this way, isn't it? I'm a little bit lost. Okay, this is where I want to go. So, this is going to be faster, or it's Hexa Nikolai again. This is going to be faster. Okay, brilliant. That turned out excellently. That is exactly how I wanted that to transpire. Whew. I thought I was either going to have to go past those giants again, or return to the first bonfire to get back here. But no. I engaged my brain and made the best possible decision. I've honestly had enough of how much health you have, or how effective you are at avoiding my damage. It's bullshit. Also had enough of how many fucking human effigies I've had to consume. Because I'm quite close to needing to consume another one, and that will be my last one. Come over here. I'm positioning myself here to avoid the ranged attacks of your friend in the distance. Okay. Let me see if I can find this one without alerting his other friend to my presence. Wasn't able to get a backstab for reasons that I cannot even begin to explain or make sense of. Oh, got a random backstab there. You know, I miss the intended backstab and then get the intentional. Excuse me, I get the unintended backstab. How about you? No. I'm not just going to miss the backstab, I'm going to miss the swing entirely because I'm playing Dark Souls 2. That's right. This game is truly mind-numbingly annoying sometimes. And it's all by design. It reduces your character to a flailing idiot. That's what it does. You feel like a flailing idiot, swinging your weapon inanely when you're playing this game. It sucks. What have they done to my Souls character? What have they done to my gaming experience? That's nice. The follow-up for the one-handed R2 is the same attack again, which is actually a good thing. So easy to miss that strike. That's why I actually positioned the enemy slightly to my right side. Alright, so there's an enemy that we want to fight here first. And then we have some chests open. I believe one of these chests contains a soul vessel, but that's not really helpful to us. This is the first game where you can actually do stat reallocation, which means I've played, you know, thousands of hours of Souls games before that was possible, so clearly I make sure that I do my builds correct the first time. It's nice to have the option, but I don't require it. There's our soul vessel. Sorcerer's Twin Blade, probably not helpful to me unless it has a faith scaling, which it probably doesn't, it's probably intelligence. And 2 Divine Blessings. Alright, what is that Twin Blade? Yeah, it's intelligence. As I suspected. I wouldn't mind using the Twin Blade weapon type. I can demonstrate it a little bit. I don't remember how it is one-handed, but I know that to get the full effectiveness of the weapon type, you do want to two-handed. You can see it swings fairly ordinarily if you're one-handing it. I'm trying to demonstrate something! Fuck off! Like, where did you even come from? I've already been through there. What fucking hole were you hiding in to try and ambush me? Obviously the ambush failed because you were in front of me rather than behind me when you appeared, but I can tell that there was an intention for you to ambush me. Thank God it failed. Fuck off. Alright. Now, if we two-hand the Twin Blade, there you go, that's pretty cool. A very limited range for the start of the fucking attack, I think. That looks like a very limited range attack. I haven't used Twin Blades very much. I haven't incorporated them into my builds all that much, but they're pretty cool. I also like Lancers. Lancers were an interesting addition to the series, which came about in this game. They're sort of quality weapons, Lancers, I think. In the sense that they have high strength requirements. But generally, I think... Do you know what? Congratulations. Go fuck yourself. You dick. Alright, so what I was saying was, yeah, high strength requirement, but generally scale with dexterity. But I think some of them might actually scale with strength as well. I seem to remember that when it comes to scaling, Lancers don't scale all that much. I think they do have, scalings, just usually like Ds, I think. Some mobs must have a trying to peacefully test a weapon detector, yeah. I think, they have a detection system for when I'm trying to enjoy myself as well. And then they just go berserk. Like I'm trying to not hate the game. That's when all hell breaks loose. I have to make sure that I'm in a permanent state of misery while I play Dark Souls 2. Alright. I don't know where the hell I can get more human effigies. I think I finally exhausted the supply of the guy in this area over here. Grave of Saints. Or Undead Crypt. What's Grave of Saints? What am I thinking of? Anyway. Let's go to Undead Ditch. I can't remember where the Grave of Saints is. Or what it refers to. Something. I think it's, it is in this game, isn't it? Grave of Saints. Oh, it's here. Well, that's obviously completely different to what I was referring to. Don't go there. I meant to press circle, not cross, okay? I play a lot of games where circle is to select. Fuck off. Obviously, I can't blame the game for that one, but still. Annoying. Apparently you feel like a flailing idiot in Elden Ring as well. I don't know. I mean, you obviously flail around a lot in Elden Ring, but the word idiot refers to the fact that I feel that despite the fact that I'm flailing around all over the place, I can't fucking hit anything. So I don't think flailing idiot really describes the Elden Ring experience. At least when you're swinging your weapon, you're doing something. Or achieving something. Yeah, don't have any more human effigies to buy from this guy. I've exhausted this guy's supply. I've exhausted all of the ones that I've picked up while playing through the game. Like, what am I supposed to do? I'm sure that there are still ones that I can purchase somewhere. I just don't know where the hell they are. I can try Magarold, but I don't remember if he sells them or not. Alright, catch you later, Peaberry. Thanks for joining. Let's just try Magarold. I mean, I could always just check online, but where's the fun in that? Naked man with club. Alright. Speaking of, well, not really speaking of anything. Let me rephrase that sentence. While I'm thinking of it, I probably should repair my smelter sword. Alright, I'll fight you. I just realized that the distance between this position... Oh god, I'm going to lose my souls, I think. Unless I don't die to these enemies. Let's see if I can manage that. Very good. I realized that the distance between these enemies and Magarold is not going to be enough to get them to leash, so... Yeah, had to deal with them right then and there. I may have to deal with more enemies, in fact. Oh look, there's a fucking Black Phantom, one of these. What's the cause of that again? Oh, it's because it's Bonfire Intensity 2. I think I did that for the Smelter Demon, to get his soul. Because I think I forgot that it would be useful for this build, so I ended up consuming the soul, I think. I forgot that that was the one. Why are you punching me? And why do you deal so much damage when you punch me? Do you know the irony of all this? I bet he doesn't even have human effigies to sell. I'd almost guarantee it. I'd love for you to back hop off the edge. That would please me greatly. I reckon I can get him in the lava. Let's not bother. You never know, he might drop something of value. Does he drop anything at all? No. 4,500 souls, but that's not really of any consolation. Just feels like a waste of time. I don't know about you. Alright, you haven't seen me. And I feel very fortunate that you haven't seen me. Alrighty. This is... Oh, 1. Yes. And fortunately, killing those enemies to get to this point financed the purchase. So that worked out well. Do you have anything else that might be of interest to me? Dragon Rider set. I didn't realize that you sold that. I think this is the Archer Dragon Rider set, which actually looks pretty cool. I like the look of it. I'll have to remember about that for another build that I do that will be heavy. Possibly my next strength build. I don't know. But yeah, my recollection of the set on the Dragon Rider himself was that it's pretty cool. It's quite ornate looking. And I don't mind yellow and black. As long as there's not too much yellow, which there isn't. They're just sort of like accents on the armor itself. So yeah, I do like the look of that set. As I say, or as is probably clear, I'd forgotten about the set, so I need to try and keep it in mind. I think it would look pretty good, and the defense looks good too. Now, where the hell are we going? I think we're going to here again, aren't we? I think so. Anyway. All I know is that I'm sick of not here. Fuck, Jesus. Well, maybe this is where I want to go. Let me go through this door and figure out where the fuck... Because where we died, I think, was close to here, but not quite. I don't even know where I am right now. Let's use this bonfire, because I think it will be more... Look, mate. Just between you and me, I did not show my back to you. Just between you and me. Maybe I did briefly, but I wasn't showing my back to you at the moment that you backstabbed me. You managed to maneuver your character around mine and, I don't know, take advantage of some sort of backstabbing system that was helpful to you and then very disruptive and... Well, what's a good word for creating difficulties? Anyway. The point is that the backstab system has changed to the detriment of the player from Dark Souls to this game, but apparently it's better for NPCs, because they can do weird shit like that. So that door doesn't open from this side. I've got no idea how to get in there. Probably doesn't matter that much. I don't know if it's helpful for me to go in this direction or not. I'm not going to be getting a soul back or anything like that. Or a bloodstain, you know what I mean. Well, I can't even go back, so great. Look, let's not worry about that section. I don't have the fucking time. Maybe you do, I don't. It's not even that I'm pressed for time. It's that my self-respect isn't so drastically minimal that I'd be willing to subject myself to that shit. Okay, you can see that there are giants in this area. Whether or not they come alive, I can't say for sure, but obviously, previously, they were not part of this room's confrontation. They were frozen. We'll see how things play out, I've got no idea. If I have to deal with them in addition to all those other enemies, that's just annoying. Like, I really don't need to experience that. Yes, okay. Very good. Oh, excellent. Just remarkable. Fuck off. You know, I'm almost hesitant to say that this is the worst location I've ever experienced in a Souls game. Because that's a big statement to make. There are a lot of places that you can go in a Souls game. Just one of them. And to consider all of them. Like, is this really the worst out of all of them? I'm starting to feel that it is. Again, you're not forced to go through it a second time, but if you want to complete everything, yes, you do have to go through it a second time, and it's just miserable. It sucks. Everything looks the same. The enemies are just annoying. And it doesn't feel nice to progress through it at all. I hate this fucking place. And yet here I am. Now, obviously, I did recently go through this location again in my other character, but I was feeling this way when I was first going through the Shrine of Winter in the previous recording. So it's an immediate sensation of displeasure that I feel when I... Oh, fuck, Jesus. Ugh. So, you know, obviously I might be slightly more amenable to this area if I were not doing so much of it in recent weeks, but it doesn't really matter because I think it's going to be unpleasant nonetheless. I know that you don't take much damage from the lightning shit, so maybe we'll try Darkstorm. Why am I doing this to myself? I said it last time, but I think I'm just going to die if I try to use Darkstorm against him, because the thing with Darkstorm is that it works well against enemies that get thrown, literally thrown by the miracle, but I don't think this guy's going to get thrown anywhere. At the moment, he's very effectively... Wow, I think I just clipped through him. I was about to say he's very effectively put me in the corner, or I put myself in the corner. Obviously, there's a reference that I can make using those words, but... not really in the mood. Come on. Let's change to this. I did actually forget to repair my smelter sword, but life goes on, doesn't it? I'm just scared to do anything with this guy. See, he went for a hug there. I don't know what happens when he hugs you, but... my HP bar doesn't want to find out. Okay, so it looks like these giants don't wake up unless you go really close to them. That's such a stupid little twirl. Did you see that? I mean, it's not like I've never seen it before, but it's so stupid. Look at your character when it does that. And like I say, you just look so... you do not in any way look skilled with your weapon when you're doing it. There's like no dexterity to it at all. Got 3 petrified dragon bones, which is very good, very helpful. Now, what I'm going to do here, because I can see that's a mimic, the color of that chest is different. But I don't trust that I'll be able to kill that mimic without alerting this giant, so... oh, he does take damage. Very good. Don't know why he's not waking up, but I'm not going to complain. This will be free souls for me. Good night. 3,200. Didn't have to do much. Now the thing with these fucking mimics is to attack them, then get the hell away. Because even if you attack them, they will try to eat you, and grab you, rather. And they're very effective in doing that. The hitbox for that grabbing attack is crazy. Now, I don't know if that's a guaranteed drop of Symbol of Avarice, but it probably is. I think it is a guaranteed drop, because I didn't get anything else. I don't know if that's how it works in this game. I don't know if you are able to get the Symbol of Avarice from any of them. But just because of how that worked, I have a feeling that was the guaranteed drop, and if it is the guaranteed drop, it would make sense for that to be the only way you can get the Symbol of Avarice here. Now, I remember that there was a big ice structure up here originally. Oh, it's more fucking giants. 3 of them, of course. Just what I want, more giants. This is excellent. You can see that I can't really keep up with my healing wares to get through these areas. It is the afternoon, early afternoon, where I am. There's no real reason to use Sunlight Blade. I'll just go back to using this, I suppose. I know I looked really ineffective in that moment, but it's the way it has to be. It takes me so long to recover from an attack and shield that I just had to stand there and take a few hits. Look at you. Just look at you. Are you done? You're gonna hop back. You know one thing that really frustrates me as well about this game? When you press the button to shield, you are not shielding until your animation has completed to raise the shield in front of you. So even if you've begun the animation, it's not going to work. I hate you with a burning passion in my heart. I really do. I don't have time for this confrontation. I've had this confrontation enough times already. Do you see what I mean? See how he can just sneak a fucking attack in because my shielding animation hasn't resolved yet? I'm pretty sure that's not how it is in the other Souls games before this one. As soon as you're pressing the shield button, you're shielding. You don't have to wait for an animation. That's probably an excellent distillation of the slowness of movement in Dark Souls 2 that makes the game feel so sluggish. You know, when you're having to wait for the shielding animation to complete in order for you to have an effective shield, that's sluggish. That's slow combat. And it feels like shit. It actually feels terrible. When you've got an instantaneous in-game response to a button that you press, it feels better. And the only reason why they've chosen to make it slow like that is to make it harder. So they've compromised the sensation that you're getting while playing the game, just to make it harder. Don't want to have to deal with these fucking giants as well. Because I can see that it's time consuming. Well, these particular giants might need souls, not all of them do. But yeah, they've got those big holes. So like, for example, the giants at Drangleic Castle, who open the doors for you. Some of them already have souls, I think that's the idea. Oh god, he's going to step on me. So it's about 60% of my health when he steps on me like that. I think I was saying 70% or more, 75%. Anyway, point is it hurts. Oh great, my fucking weapon's almost broken. Story of my life. Alright, back to this weapon. I just don't want to use the lightning weapons because the damage that they deal might be too reliant on the lightning BNS. And I really don't think these enemies are susceptible to lightning at all, so... I was hoping I'd be able to iframe that with a roll, but I couldn't even get that out fast enough. Because again, we're playing the sluggish Souls game today. The Souls game where you do something on your controller and then something happens in the game approximately 2 seconds later. It's great. It feels excellent. It's exactly what I want in my gaming experience. Where's it? Oh, interestingly, I couldn't see the other one there. Am I going to get free damage off on these guys? Yeah. Well, I'm not complaining. All things considered, I did a good job of only giving a soul to one of them. Aha, so the death of that one ended up reviving this one. Fucking hell. Don't really want to get hit by that kick again. And I don't want to be hugged. I definitely don't want to be hugged. I don't know what happens, but I know that it hurts. Possibly more than being kicked. I'm going to have to hang back and wait for my health to actually recover. There we go. What have you given me? A human effigy! Well, thank God for that. I've got 2 now. Amazing. What's going to be in this chest? Hopefully something worthwhile, because that took ages. Curved Nil Greatsword. Well, you never know. Might be good. Let's have a look. Curved Nil Greatsword. Is this it? So it's a dexterity scaling weapon. Definitely something that I would use for my dex build. Because it's not too heavy, I don't think. Yeah, kind of cool. Oh, but it's A scaling in strength, so this is definitely more of a quality build weapon. Okay. Well, curved swords is how they are. Good scalings, though. Okay, back to this. Now, this is a direction that we weren't able to go in before, I'm pretty sure. So... Oh, not more. More of them. Oh, I've had enough of this place. I'm just looking at these enemies and I can feel my my energy being drained already. Without even spending the time to fight them, I can feel my energy draining away. Alright, I don't mind fighting you if it means that I can avoid waking up the giants. I don't know if the giants are protecting anything, I almost don't care. I'm curious enough to look, but... strictly speaking, I don't care that much. Am I going to be ambushed by something? Apparently not. Not today. Or at least not in this exact moment in time. I'm sure very soon some attempt will be made to ambush me. No, these enemies look like they're just standing there. I don't even want the free souls, to be honest. Except that I do. I've alerted you to my existence. Do I really want the free souls this badly? I'm not fighting that one. That one over there. I'll get free souls from the giants, but I won't fight them. Not properly. I've had enough of that. Oh, it's another fucking... Maybe these guys help me in the fight. Do they help me in the fight? Or is this going to make my life harder? Yeah, I bet these guys help me in the fight, don't they? That makes sense. That's what we want. Because they're not going to make the fight harder for me by venturing through the Shrine of Winter. They want to encourage the player to go through the damn area, surely. So I think those knights actually help you in the fight. That's probably why I struggled so much last time. Not that you saw that, but it was a struggle. I got about halfway through the fight, and then that was really about as good as I could do. Okay. There is more to be done, believe it or not. I don't know where else we can go, but I know that there's another boss. There's another... I think there's 2, or like a double boss with similar enemies to the boss that we fight here. I actually want one of their souls for something, for my dexterity build, so I don't actually know how to access them. Do we want to give the final boss of the Shrine of Winter a try? It would actually be faster to use the Aged Feather and then warp to the bonfire, I think. So that means I have 2 of them helping me. It's probably not the maximum number, but hopefully that'll be enough. Let's give it a try. As for the weapon that I use, I think we'll use the Great Axe. Although I don't think they're weak to fire, so how about we... yeah, let's just stick with this sword. This is more likely to be our most damaging. So as I say, the fight's not that easy. You think there's 4? Jesus, I've got that much more to do in the Shrine of Winter. Aha, so... looks like I've got 3. I don't know where the hell the first one came from. Alright, well if I've got 3 of them helping me, hopefully that's enough. So I think defaultly you have 1, and then you can add an additional 3. It's a pretty cool looking boss fight. I can't deny that. But it just really helps to have these guys, because there are multiple enemies, as you can see. Good day. Oh, that pyromancy looks slightly dangerous. Now, what I should have done... Can I backstab you? No, I can't. What I should have done was equipped some of my better life gems. So let's do that now. It's probably a bit dangerous to be doing this. As you can see. Ooh. Oh, this is bad. Oh, Jesus! I was hoping that you had been occupied by the other ones. Well, that's my fault for equipping the life gems during the fight. Let's try that again. With less health, of course. My coffee's nice and cold. I do actually prefer cold brew coffee, but that's not cold brew coffee. That's alright. We're not going to lose our assistance, which is good. Yeah, I do have less health, but... so be it. We'll see how we're doing in this boss fight. I'm not going to force myself to clear it. If it feels too difficult, I will retreat for the time being. I like this guy's weapon. It's a big halberd. Frustrates me that I can't backstab these enemies. Do not really have the stamina to block 2 enemies' attacks. I can say that with confidence. I feel like I have to block for far too long. Yes, one thing that I do need to do as well is upgrade my Estus Flask. So have you got 3 attacks? Yes, you do. And just as I was about to attack, of course, I get... oh my god, there's so many of them. Jesus. I want to deal with the other one, but maybe I should get my stone ring out. Do you think the stone ring will flinch them more? Hold on. Where's the one that's almost dead? It's you. Oh no, you're one of the ones that's almost dead, but you're not the one that I was fighting before. That's the one with the halberd. This is so annoying. There's just too many of them. If you're too slow... So, for reference, the other build that I was using off camera to fight this boss was a really good one. I was using dual-wielding poison katanas, and I was getting through them very quickly. But I feel like with this build, it's totally different, because each of my swings is not really flinching these enemies much, which means that I've got limited opportunities to hit them. And, yeah, do you know what? I don't need increased miracle damage. No, not that. So, yeah, but in other words, I feel so much weaker when I'm A, shield reliant, and B, swinging a slow-moving weapon that doesn't deal much damage. Like, those dual-wielding poison katanas were much better. They just got through them faster. And I was obviously able to roll through the attacks as they came through. Whereas if I'm shield reliant, and using a slow-moving weapon, I then need to rely on the flinching that is achieved by my weapon. So is this going to flinch him? Yes, this is much better. Ooh, stone ring. Look at that. I'm glad I gave the stone ring a try. I wasn't sure if it was going to be effective or not, because I thought these guys would have a lot of defense. Well, sorry. I thought that they would be very well armored. This is exactly what we want. It's so essential, because like I say, you're really committed. Oh, I don't give a shit. I don't care. At least I've figured out how we're going to succeed here. So this is what I mean. It's like a dance, or at least there's a bit of give and take. So if I'm going to be committing really heavily to a swing, and if I'm shield reliant, which therefore means I can't use my shield when I'm attacking, I therefore need some guarantee that I'll be safe while swinging my weapon. Flinching the enemy is how you achieve that. So I think the stone ring is really essential for this build. Obviously, some enemies aren't going to require it, but I think we want to make use of it. So, yeah, because that's the disadvantage that I was trying to describe before. You know, with my dexterity build, I can attack as much as I want, and then I'm able to immediately roll through any attack that comes. But if I don't have the ability to flinch enemies with this heavy moving weapon, I'm very vulnerable. So I've taken away that vulnerability, at least a little bit. I'm still going to be vulnerable to the other ones, but at least the one that I'm attacking, I'll be able to commit and stay safe while fighting that one. So I'm very happy with this change of arrangement. Had to keep my shield raised there. Oh, didn't really need to use an Estus. Bit of a waste. I can see that there's a pyromancer who's got his eye on me. Much better. I can see you've already lost a little bit of health, so I'll try to whittle your health down now. I was really hoping that maybe one of the other ones would step in and lend a hand. Don't know what the fuck's going on. Need to get to that. Stop it. Need to get to this one. You can, by the way, pick up Charred Lois armor as you go through this fight, because as you kill them, they do drop their equipment. If they drop their swords and shields, that's cool as well. I have to be really careful here. You can see I'm still rolling through stuff. Stop it. Nasty. If it's not obvious, you do still need to... you do still need to do a lot of the heavy lifting yourself. I can't deal with this many. Oh my god. Alright, let's just run as far as we can. Are you coming after me? What are you doing? Alright, I have more that need to die. Let's get to the one with the low health, just over here. He's hanging back. Smart thing for him to be doing. Meanwhile, my character is spending about half an hour doing a fucking twirl instead of actually hitting you. Yeah, God forbid, when I press R1, my character actually does something. Alright, you're dead. Anyone else? So, we're not going to go for the max health one. That's stupid. I do need to heal myself up, though. Fortunately, didn't have to take a hit to do it. Fuck! It's so annoying. It's just the sluggishness of this game. I feel so ineffectual. Alright, you hit him before he hits me. That's the idea. And obviously that strategy doesn't work at all if I'm not flinching, but I am now. That's the good thing. I think my... oh my god, the ones that were helping me are dead. So I don't know how I'm going to fare against the... oh, I see what they're doing. That's very interesting. So when they die, they freeze the mirrors for you. Which probably means, and I hope I'm not wrong, I think this might actually mean that when I have to fight the big one that comes, I can fight him alone. I believe I'm correct in saying that. Might go pick this up. Because yeah, when the knights who are assisting you die, they freeze those mirrors. And if those mirrors aren't frozen, I believe you will still be fighting those other knights while fighting the big main boss. Well, this is working quite well. We'll give Sunlight Blade a try. Where are you? Here you are. He's got a cool entrance, and I'm sort of ruining it. Trying to target you. So again, I've got the stone ring, so... oh, it's not it's not flinching him, though. Just need to watch to see what you're doing. Gonna run. I'm doing this so that I can heal, just to be clear. So yeah, it's just me and him, I think, which is great. Very good news. I'm not flinching him successfully. He's moving in a similar way to another boss that I've fought. Don't know which. This is bad. Run. Get the fuck out of there, you slow prick. Oh god, is that a ranged attack? Oh god, what the hell is that? It's going to be hitting through my shield is what it's going to be doing. You can see, I might have to go fast rolling for this. Get the shield off. Fast rolling is always an option. Alright. Just have to keep my health good. I knew I wouldn't get the timing correct for that. Is that going to kill me? No. Thank God for that. One of the great things... Gee, look at the range! Holy shit. That's obviously one of the great things about progressive healing. I did press the button to roll. I did press the circle button to roll there. This is all doable. I just have to not be shield reliant during that fight. We'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. But that was problematic. Being stuck behind a fucking shield. And that really is most boss fights. If you are shield reliant in the majority of boss fights that you encounter, it's going to make life harder. So eventually you just have to get that shield out. Or drop it, rather. Put the shield away and actually make use of your rolls. Excuse me. Happy to go again. But I see now how important it is to have these nights. It's really important. It may actually be wise to completely drop the shield for the whole fight. Let's do that. Fuck it. What am I going to do with this stupid shield anyway? I might save my Estus for the big guy, because I can actually create a lot of distance between us. I can mash these enemies to death much more effectively like this. When I'm going two-handed with additional damage, of course. Ooh. I can barely see what the hell's going on. Yeah, well, I didn't even get my souls back. I don't know how many I lost. I've got no idea, to be honest with you, and I'm past the point of really giving a shit. I really just... I don't care anymore. What I am frustrated by is potentially needing to use another human effigy. I don't want to be in that position. I've used so many of them. Alright. Let's, Do you think it's helpful for me to get rid of my shield for the whole fight? It probably is. Let's just keep doing that. I think... yes, well, do you know what? We're going to be vulnerable anyway to the other ones. Like, if I'm attacking with my shield, I'm not going to be able to use it, right? So I'm going to be vulnerable no matter what, is the point that I'm trying to make. So I should take advantage of the increased damage that I'm getting from going two-handed. Totally out of stamina. Alright, where's the fucker that I was hitting before? There he is. Oh my god. Alright, my health is not good. No, no, no. Go away! Stop it! What the hell was that, and how did it deal so much damage to me? I'm taking a break from this fight. I can't keep doing it over and over again, and obviously, the more I die, the lower my health is going to become, so... I might just have to take a break from that shit. Yeah. Let's go to Majula, repair our weapon. We also might be able to upgrade something because we did get some... whatever they're called. Petrified dragon bones just before. Look at my fucking health. Bear with me. Use all. I almost discarded them. Could you imagine if I did that? Repair. And I think that's going to take it to max. I think that's what we want to be doing. So, excellent. I will reinforce you to +5. And I suppose we'll prioritize the Lost Sinner's Sword after this because it's only at, or rather it's at +3 versus this unupgraded one. As for which one would be more effective, probably the Lost Sinner's Sword, but they're different sort of weapons. I'll be around. Alright, so fully upgraded, this has 665 damage. Dangerously close to the number of the beast there. But yeah, it's a perfectly good addition to the build to have this sword. I'm very happy with it. And I'm glad that I fully upgraded it. We've got a lot of souls. I've got 173,000 after consuming those. I don't have a shard to give you. Let's see how much we can level up. Twice. That's not too bad. And we've still got 80,000 souls after doing that. So... oh no, we don't. 20,000. I was looking at the wrong number. Alright, so... I think we want to focus on endurance. We really do need more stamina, so... that's what we're doing. I may have actually done that off camera as well. I may have leveled up a little bit. Like, increased my endurance. I think that's what I did as well. Yeah, that sounds about right. Maybe did 2 or 3 rounds of the Giant Lord and leveled up my endurance. I apologize for not mentioning that. I had actually forgotten that I did that off camera, but that was indeed done. So we're now at 34 endurance. So our stamina is better than it was. I think we might have been at 25 when I last recorded. So we are improving. We have more stamina to work with, and you can see that even with the stamina that we have, we're running out plenty. So the more we have, the better, obviously. I don't know where I'm going to stop upgrading my endurance, but I think once we take it to 40, it'll be good to leave it, because otherwise we'll be losing out on opportunities to upgrade vigor, and possibly other stats like strength. Maybe worth taking strength up to even 60, and then faith to 60 as well. I like the idea of that. But that's a stretch goal. Or at least something rather distant from the present time. I think that's going to conclude my live stream. Did a little bit of character improvement towards the end. I don't know if I'm going to do that boss in the next video. I might attempt it once or twice and then leave it alone. Try to do something more enjoyable. But that is going to conclude my work today. I do thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time I'm playing the Soul series, or perhaps Monster Hunter, or anything that I do happen to be live streaming. I'll bid you all farewell for now, and yeah, that's all that I have to say. Bye-bye.